Come on in. Take your seats, people. Take your seats, people. If you have a startup, if you've been thinking about a startup, if you have a small business, if you just like the topic of risk management, this video is for you. And more importantly, this channel is for you. Like I said, I'm not here to reel you in with any crazy hook or any clickbaity title. We're here for straight information. And today we'll be learning about how we can conduct a risk assessment on our smaller businesses. As we know, a lot of people often think when it comes to risk management and having even a risk management department, that's something I'll push off because, you may think your business is not big enough for that. And that's just a false. That's just a myth. Risk management is something you can start in your business today because it can save you money. It can help you make smarter decisions. It can safeguard your business and really almost guarantee long-term success. Every business is going to go through countless risk. It's inevitable. There's a lot of things that we just can't avoid, and we want to make sure we're paying attention to those, especially as we build out our business in the early stages, so that when we create a bigger business, as we continue to be successful, as I know you guys will be, there's certain things we can alleviate. There's certain things we can avoid. There's certain things that we know, okay, we can transfer over this risk, which we will get more into. But we definitely want to make sure we're paying attention to it early on. And that's what we'll see in this video today. But if you are new here, this is the Risk Playbook, and I'm a risk management professional. And I just wanted to make this channel because I often don't see that much risk management information, especially when I look on YouTube. The information I do see is either old or outdated if I see anything at all. So I just wanted to bring awareness, shine light on the topic, shine light on the opportunities that come with risk management. And I also did create a Substack as well that you can subscribe to. I'll drop the link below, and I'll also be just pretty much in blogging about these topics. And also that's where I'll also put my checklist templates, and I'll just be building out different opportunities on a monthly basis that I'll be able to incorporate for you guys who may not like the video form and prefer something written. That'll all be on my Substack below that you'll be able to subscribe to, and there'll definitely be those for you guys who do have the businesses, there'll be those free templates that I'll also throw on a monthly basis and things of that nature. And then for you guys with the businesses as well, I'm still offering the one-on-one consultation where I can help you begin, springboard, identifying those risks, creating mitigation strategies, creating risk policies, and then giving you that one-page risk assessment to kind of tailor it specifically to your business. That will be below in the description as well. But enough about that, enough about me. Let's get into how this risk assessment can be used in your startup today. Sit tight, bring out your notebook. We're about to get into the nuts and bolts. You don't want to miss it. So before we get into how to perform the risk assessment, I know some of you are asking, what exactly is a risk assessment? And a risk assessment is pretty much the process of identifying, analyzing, managing potential threats that could negatively affect your business. These are things that could help you minimize possible financial losses, possible disruptions, and possible different compliance issues with regulations that may be within your industry. In other words, I kind of think of it like a business safety check. For example, you wouldn't drive your car without checking the brakes. You wouldn't drive your car without insurance, for example. So these are things just to make sure you are safe, so it helps you potentially spot danger before it happens. So a risk assessment is very critical when we think of it in a business lens. These are the things that can help us avoid a lot of the disasters that we see constantly happen in multiple businesses that put them out within the first 3 to 6 months. So risk assessments are definitely crucial, and I want to bring light on them so you can start on it today, incorporate it into your business, and then springboard you into making better decisions, more strategic decisions that will in turn increase your business profitability and also your business resilience. Now that we know what a risk assessment is, let's get into how we can incorporate it into our businesses today, our startup today, or if you're just interested in on the topic, we're about to get into how we can create a business that is risk aware, a culture that is risk aware. And I've created a 5-step guide to performing a risk assessment. So as I stated, risk assessment is all about identifying. So you got it. Step 1 is identifying the risk. So when we think of identifying the risk, what we're asking ourselves is, what could stop my business from operating today, right? So you want to start by making a list of the possible things that could go wrong in your business, right? So some common risk categories, you have to think of the financial risk. So when we're thinking of financial risk, we're thinking of things like, are there any unpaid invoices? Are there any possible economic downturns? If we're thinking of the operational risk, we're thinking of the supply chain delays. What equipment, if we're using equipment, could possibly fail today, right? If we're thinking of the cybersecurity, we know that there's data breaches that could happen. We know that there's possible phishing attacks that can happen. If we're thinking of possible compliance risk, we know there's fines, there's lawsuits, there's failure to meet regulations. These are risks that we want to make sure we're keeping our eye on early on in our business, so we're avoiding making potential mistakes in the long run. So step 1, we want to identify our risks. Step 2, we want to analyze and prioritize the risk. So once we have our long list or short list of risk, we want to analyze and prioritize the risk. We want to ask ourselves these 2 key questions. What's the likelihood of this risk happening? What's the likelihood of this risk happening? And then second, what's the impact if it does happen? You want to kind of rank them between low, medium, and high. You want to ask yourself those questions and really rank them low, medium, and high regarding the likelihood of it happening. And a simple way to do this would be with a risk matrix. And a risk matrix kind of lets you know what the high impact, high likelihood risks are, so that you know these need to be addressed immediately. And then if it's low risk, low likelihood, then those can be monitored over time. And this risk matrix is something that I can go, or that I will go further in detail in my Substack, where I can kind of show charts and different diagrams and whatnot. Because like I said, with this video stuff, I'm new to it, but with Substack, I'll be able to kind of incorporate pictures to kind of put a graphic behind what I'm saying. But a risk management, a risk matrix will be perfect for step 2 to analyze and prioritize those risks, so you can kind of see which risks are high likely and high impact to your business. So once you've identified the risk, you've analyzed them, and you've prioritized them, now it's time for step 3. And step 3 is all about developing risk mitigation strategies. In other words, it's time to determine whether you want to reduce the risk or eliminate the risk. And usually you can use 4 main risk treatment strategies. Those 4 risk treatment strategies are either risk avoidance. So you either want to avoid the risk, you either want to mitigate the risk. So that's pretty much, in other words, reducing the risk. You either want to risk transferring the risk over elsewhere, or you want to accept the risk. So if you choose to avoid the risk, you pretty much want to stop engaging in that risky activity. So for example, if you don't have to store sensitive customer information, just simply don't. That's the act of avoiding the risk completely. If you want to reduce the risk, that means you want to do things like implement security measures. You want to train your staff to make sure they're able to spot certain bottlenecks in your operation. You want to create contingency plans just in case certain things go wrong. If you want to transfer the risk, those are things like insurance and outsourcing various things to highly expert people in that area. And then if you want to completely accept the risk, and usually you only want to do this if there is minimal impact, you want to definitely keep an eye on it to make sure that the risk you're accepting isn't detrimental to the complete operation of your business. So for example, let's say you have a business where you're doing online transactions. You want to make sure that you have things like maybe a 2-factor authentication or some type of payment strategy where you're double checking. You're making sure that there isn't any fraud that could be happening within your business. So you want to definitely make sure you have these strategies in place, and based on the risk, you want to make sure you know how you're approaching each risk. Some risks again, you're not going to be able to avoid. So if you're not able to avoid it, let me figure out, should I transfer it? Are there ways to mitigate this risk? Some risk I may have to take on. So this definitely does help your decision making, and it gives you a better idea on how to approach these risks. And once again, you want to approach these risks based on how you determine their likelihood was going to be, their impact was going to be on your business. So you want to put all of the steps together and compound them together to make the best decisions for your business moving forward. Step four. And step four is something that a lot of businesses don't even do, and it's something I highly recommend. And step four is create a risk register. And if you don't know what a risk register is, it's basically a simple document that helps you track your risk, once again, the likelihood and potential impact that they could have on your business, as well as the mitigation strategies that you have in place for them. You definitely want to keep track of these just to see how they're evolving with your business, how they're changing with your business. Are the risk, the likelihood going up? Is it going down? Are we able to avoid this long term, or is there forthcoming risk? So you definitely want to have a risk register in place because it helps you stay organized and prepare. And if you don't know where to start, once again, I do risk register audits, and in my Substack, I'll be providing templates, once again, that can get you started on creating a risk register. So that's what I would say for step four, is just creating a risk register so you're able to keep track of those risks and the risk mitigation strategies that you have in place. And then step five is pretty much rinse and repeat. You want to make sure you're monitoring and updating your risk assessment daily. And this is your risk assessment strategy. It's not, once again, it's not a one-time thing. Just as your business evolves, your risk mitigation, your risk assessment strategy should continue to evolve. Every time you hire a new employee, every time your business grows, every time you launch a new product, you want to make sure you're checking your risk management, your risk assessment strategies, just so they're staying up to date with the risk that you could possibly face with the introduction of these new things in your business. So you want to make sure that you're monitoring and you're updating these things regularly. So if you do have, I did drop a video, one of my previous videos is how you can implement risk management on a daily basis in your business. But if it's something that you do every so often, every couple of months, you want to make sure that you review these different habits every couple of months, so your risk management processes are evolving along with your business. And before you go, I have a special tidbit. If you stayed this long in this video, I want to kind of specify how this can affect online businesses, right? If you run an online business, whether that's e-commerce, whether that's consulting, whether that's digital marketing, risk assessment is just as important. A lot of people assume just because they operate online, they're risk-free, but the digital world comes with the same amount of risk. So just staying on top of it, staying proactive is key. So some of the common risks to watch for is definitely your website downtime and the cybersecurity threats that could come with it. You want to make sure you have strong passwords and you have backups, just so you're staying protected from any hacking that could occur. You want to look out for payment fraud. So use verified payment gateways. And a lot of fraud detection tools are out there, so you can catch these before they have a detrimental effect to your business. You also want to have legal compliance for data privacy. Make sure you're following the GDPR. Make sure you're following certain rules and regulations within your industry, so you're not long-term being sued for different things, because that can happen. As a small business, you may be able to get away with a lot of it, but as your business continues to grow, like I said, these are things that people start paying attention to too late, and before they know it, they're getting sued and then further being put out of business. And then you just want to keep a good reputation. You want to monitor the reviews. You want to monitor the customer feedback to prevent brand damage. Your brand is your name. It's your likeness. It's something that you want to keep polished. It's something that you want to keep clean. So definitely stay track on that. As I said in my previous videos, sometimes your customers are able to spot certain risks in your business before your employees are able to spot it. So you definitely want to take heed to what they're saying and how it can apply or how it is affecting your business. So overall, the 5-step strategy, we want to make sure that we're identifying the risks as step one. Step two, we want to make sure we're analyzing and we're prioritizing the risk within our business. Step three, what is the risk mitigation plan that we have in place or that we want to use in place? We want to create that risk register, step four. And then step five, rinse and repeat. We want to monitor and make sure we're updating our risk assessment, our risk strategy on a monthly basis, on a timely basis. So it's evolving with our business. So with that being said, guys, I hope this was a great video full of information. I hope you were able to take something away that if you do have a business, you'll be able to implement today. Once again, in my Substack, please subscribe. That's where all the templates, a lot of the things that I'm talking about will be in graphic form, will be in Word form if you can read it and you can take along with your business. In the Substack, I'll also be doing the Q&A so we can kind of be able to chat on different questions, whether you're in high school, college, and just want to learn about the career track of risk management, or you do have that business as stated. That's why I'll be dropping a lot of the information, a lot of the templates, a lot of the checklists, a lot of different things that I can get more in detail with on that website. So I'll definitely be linking it below. But once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely like, comment, subscribe on what you would like to see more of. As always, prevention is better than cure. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.